So if you've been following along at all, you know I have had all kinds of issues with drainage in my backyard. My backyard continues to flood and we have all sorts of issues here. So today we're going to be installing French drains, open French drains, closed French drains. We're going to be putting in 3 different ones, about 800 feet worth. Let's get to it. So all of the water that is coming from down this hill all the way across here is ending up in my backyard. As you can see, this backyard continues to flood. And so what we've got, we are going to put a closed French drain from here all the way over to that corner and down. We're going to put an open French drain, which essentially closed French drain means there's grass growing on top of it. You won't even know it's here. Open basically means there's stone all the way to the top of it. You can see the stone and it won't be hidden, and that will grow, or that will go above the rock wall all the way to the corner, and that will catch probably 80%, maybe more, of the water that is ending up in this backyard. And essentially this is where these are going to meet. This drain is going to go that way. This drain will come here. They will meet, not connect, but they will run in the exact same trench side by side right in this area where the water's already made a nice little crevice. There's no way you can miss that. So on a closed French drain, or what we're doing here in the middle of the yard, on the very top layer, we're gonna have grass. That grass is going to slow the water down. Water moves slower when it's got to fight through grass than it does whenever it's just moving on top of bare dirt, especially compacted bare dirt. Just beneath the grass, we're gonna have about 2 or 3 inches of sand. Now, why sand? Most people use dirt or soil. I'm using sand because, one, you can grow nice grass on top of sand. It's been proven time and time again, but also the sand just helps drain the water down much quicker than dirt will. And then beneath that sand, we've got about 6 or so inches of river gravel. This is 5L river gravel. This is just going to create a much larger void space throughout the entire system here versus something like gravel. Having these round rocks here, that is going to allow water to move much quicker and much more easily versus using something like a crushed gravel or something that is just sharper edges and smaller, that is going to fill the void spaces that you want the water to flow through. And then beneath the stone, we have 4-inch perforated pipe covered with the sock. And now what this is probably a section that I'm only going to use if I absolutely have to. This is perforated pipe. As you can see in there, if you can see those slits, it has these slits all the way around and all the way through this entire pipe. That is going to allow the water to seep through there. And now on top of that, we have this sock. And what this sock is going to do is going to prevent any sort of particulates, I guess, sand, dirt, anything like that from clogging any of these holes that I showed you. It's going to prevent the water from being able to get down into this pipe. This water is going to be able to seep down through this sock into the pipe and out without anything clogging this up. That is essentially our French drain setup. Now, if there's anything else that you would do, leave them in the comments below. I'd love to hear. I know a lot of people don't use the sock on the pipe. They will actually line their trench with non-woven geotextile fabric, and then they'll fold it over the rocks kind of like a burrito, and that essentially does the same thing. It keeps the dirt and the junk from getting down through the rocks and clogging the pipe up. But this is what we're doing, and it's gonna run right through here. So the only thing left to do is start trenching and get to work. See how it goes. So we have got this top portion done, this open French drain, which just means the rocks go all the way to the surface. Now we have to do the same thing down here, except this is going to be a closed French drain, which basically just means we're going to fill it up with rocks, leave it about 2 to 3 inches between the rocks and the top layer of the soil here. We're going to fill that up with sand, and then we're going to be able to grow grass on top of it. So let's get after it. So day 2 here, we're getting rolling on this. As you can see, we actually got quite a bit of this closed French drain in here, got all our sand, got it smoothed out here, and then the open French drain that's above the wall is complete. Now the only thing is, at the corner of the wall, in the corner of where this, we're gonna intersect them, dig 1 trench and connect the 2 trenches, but we're just gonna run 2 pipes in the same trench the rest of the way down. So the plan right here, this is where the woods start, then the woods end behind me over there. If you can see, it pops out to the driveway. There's a little drainage ditch. The water would then run under the driveway through the culvert pipe out into the woods. So the goal is to build up a berm, maybe 2 or 3 feet tall, that we can plant on. We'll make it look nice, and the water will pop out of the French drain right behind the berm, and this berm would continue to flow the water down to where we need it to go, instead of running across the middle of the yard, washing out the yard and causing other issues there. We're gonna use some of this dirt, build up the berm. Eventually we'll make it look nice, but for now, build the berm, redirect the water. And what that's gonna do with that berm right there, that's gonna keep all the water that's coming around the house separate and flowing that way, and all the water that's coming through these downspouts will hit this drain and flow underground that way. It'll just keep all the water separate, so it's not all going to the same place and causing much more issues here in the front yard. Let's go. So here we are a few weeks later, maybe about a month. Spoiler alert, we have grass. Stay tuned for that video, but the French drains seem to be working very well, and I want to show you what we have done here on the backside. So the French drain actually ends right here. As you can see, This is where the pipes come out of the ground. We've tried to, there's a lot of leaves here I need to get up, but if you can see, we've tried to put rocks here to kind of divert the water from washing all this out. And we've made about a dry creek bed here. Big pile of river rock that I need to spread out. I'm actually gonna spread that all the way down to this. And then we lined this berm that we built. Here's the berm. Goes all the way down there. Lined it with these large boulders. And then this river rock will flow all the way down next to it to create a dry creek bed. And then the French drain lets out right here. The water will hopefully flow, or not hopefully, it does flow, all the way down through there. And then it will go in the culvert that runs that way down into the woods. So this turned out way better than I could have ever imagined it. My dad is kind of a genius here when it comes to this kind of stuff, and he did a fantastic job. Cannot say enough about what he did here, because this right here already looks awesome. It's going to continue to just continue to look awesome, especially when these leaves are cleaned up. This river rock is spread out all the way down through there. Functions well. It'll be an awesome place for my kids to come play, and just couldn't be happier with how this whole thing turned out. Need to take these leaves out, but this is where all the downspouts and everything runs and pops out. That French drain ends right down through there, and this turned out awesome as well. So you can see it just looks so nice here next to all the grass, and just looks way better than I could have ever imagined. And so obviously it was not ideal to have these drains put in and have this rock and this drain basin put in, but the fact that we were able to take something that sucked and make it a positive, because I think that looks awesome. I think this berm and this creek bed and everything we're doing here is going to look awesome, and it functions well, and it does exactly what we need to do, and it gets the water away from the yard so that we can have nice grass and we can enjoy this thing. So that's how we did it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next one.